Jet Set Radio!
Hello and welcome to Sega Saturdays, our weekly look back at the very best of retro Sega gaming. This is the 5th show, and I'm very excited about this episode. This episode we are talking about Jet Set Radio!
Well done. That was a good impression of Professor K.
Jet Set Radio! The GG Garage is just jumping with frogs. Ribbit, 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 ribbit.
Okay, I'm joined this week, as ever, by hardcore Sega fanatic Dave Horton.
Yeah, hi.
Nintendo apologist Justin Town. This isn't working. Sega fan Justin Town.
Hello.
And Ian Mr. Trophy Wilson.
Hello.
So, Jet Set Radio. Look at it. Just look at it. It is brilliant. It's still good. This is the original on the Dreamcast. It still looks absolutely beautiful. And it's fair to say they really aren't. They don't make games like this anymore, do they?
No.
Not at all. It's actually got colours in it and everything.
Yeah. Colours and fun and just a sheer sense of
It's about it's about sort of skateboarding around a city, doing graffiti, escaping the police, wearing all sorts of questionable fashions, and listening to awesome music.
Absolutely.
It's brilliant. It's everything you could want from a game and more.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's a real treat. As you can tell, I really, really love this game. I played it a hell of a lot on Dreamcast, and then I got Future on Xbox, and I still play that on my Xbox.
Really?
Just a Radio Future. Yeah. Even in this age of Xbox Ones and Titanfalls and whatnot.
There's so many men to shoot, yet you're still just skating around.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So many men who should be dead who just aren't now.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's too much, too much war and whatnot. It should be more about, graffitiing stuff.
Yeah.
With homemade graffiti and listening to awesome music. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And to be honest as well, a lot of games sort of do this. Well, is it cel shaded? Is it
Yes,
cel shaded?
Yeah, it is.
A lot of games do that sort of cel shaded style, but none of them seem quite as vibrant or as I don't know, as stylized as Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, a lot of games tried to emulate it, didn't they? But
Yeah, well, I find even with like modern cell shading, there's a lot of cell shading because obviously the initial idea was to make it look like a cartoon you control in real time, and since Radio, there's still so few games that pull that off. They look like cell shaded 3D rather than having that vibrant kind of 2D kind of explosion vibe to it, which this totally nails.
yeah. You look though, it's not actually everything that's cell shaded.
No, it's not.
Main characters are, and the arrow at the top that tells you where to go.
But that's partly what helps it look more like a cartoon, really, because you look at any cartoon, the backgrounds are painted or hand drawn or whatever, and it's just the main moving stuff that does it, so it gets that right.
Obviously, the art style in this, just to bang on about it a little bit more, is deliberately designed to look like the graffiti that you spray on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when it's even in like the sort of sketchy, angular kind of shape of the characters, and like even the sort of dynamicism of the way their animations work, it's got that same sort of sense of kinetic art to it.
Certainly has. Now, I don't want to slip too many facts in there now, because it's Justin's job to deal with the facts, and it is now time for Justin's Sega fact challenge on Jet Set Radio. Justin, your current record is what, 8?
8, yes. The Fact Owl has been adjudicating and declares that 8 is the current record.
Well done, Fact Owl. Right, your time on Jet Set Radio starts now.
The game came out on Dreamcast in 2000. It was known as Jet Grind Radio in the US due to a trademark problem. It had internet upload and download of graffiti, as you could make your own graffiti. It featured music by Jurassic 5 in the UK and US, and also Rob Zombie in the US. It has a recreation of Shibuya bus terminal in it. What else? The cel shaded style was the first game to do it, even if Fear Effect had done something similar previously, but not particularly well. And
Time's up.
Yes. I had another one as well.
See, I count some ambiguity on that cel shading fact, because when you say similar but not quite as good, does that mean it didn't do it? Or
Well, no, it didn't.
Do it didn't.
It suggested that it was cel shaded.
Right.
However, it didn't actually have black outlines around it. It was just that the characters were flat shaded with like 2 colours, one for shadow that was baked on. Whereas the real time writing is real.
Just clinch that.
This is a lengthy fact explanation, to which we will have to ask the fact factile to adjudicate. I don't know how we will rule, Justin, but given that you edit the video, so I imagine it'll be ruling in your favour.
Pretty PG.
I don't think that's going to beat the 8 though. I think that's about 6 or 7.
Yeah, well, we'll find out in the edit. Okay, let's talk about the soundtrack, because the soundtrack is as awesome as the rest of the game.
It is.
Hooray!
It's a consistent game.
Yeah.
Ian, you've been really quiet on this so far. Did you play much Jet Set Radio? Are you nostalgic for the soundtrack or not?
I've played a bit of it.
That's not enough.
Yeah, on the recent HD
Right.
version of it. So I don't know a lot about the soundtrack. I'm interested by what Rob Zombie songs are on the American version. I don't know if you know that. I don't know.
There's only one song,
Oh, really?
and being on the American one, I haven't actually heard it. But yeah, I mean, Richard Jacks did stuff for Sega.
Richard Jacks, basically bona fide legend.
Yes.
It's very catchy.
Yeah, it's fantastic. There's so many great songs in here. The one about turning off the radio because this woman's trying to get to sleep. That's great. Oh, also Super Brothers as well.
Yeah, that's Sweet Soul Brother.
Well, there's that as well, but Super Brothers! Yeah, who are you? What's your name? Super Brothers! That's amazing. It's like, I'm going to say it wrong. Is it Hideki Nomomura or something? I think. I might have said the surname wrong. But yeah, several tracks from that artist. Yeah, Richard Jacks did a great job. It all just sounds amazing. And it comes together as a coherent whole. I think it's fair to say this is the best soundtrack in any game ever.
It's one of the most consistent.
Seconded, yes.
It's definitely one of the most consistent in that it managed to be like so sort of quite madly eclectic, but it all feels like part of the same world completely. You know?
Yeah.
It fits in perfectly with the vibe of the game,
Yeah.
with what's happening on the screen.
It sounds like the game
Right,
looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you listen to some of the songs in isolation, you know, I sometimes listen to them on YouTube because they're all on there.
Yeah.
They're not quite as good. They're a little bit cheesy outside of the game. I wouldn't choose to, you wouldn't put them on your iPod and dance away at home. Well, maybe you would.
Justin's nodding in dissent here.
Might have done that.
But yeah, I think within the context of the game, it does make for the perfect soundtrack.
Yeah.
So that is all good. That actually reminds me. I've got a little story about Jet Set Radio.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was in Tokyo when this game first came out.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, I was asked to leave Tokyo and never return.
Oh, unfortunate.
So yeah, despite all my protests, they asked me to leave the roller skating rink and never return.
Oh. Sounds like you had a good time as well.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, she was beautiful. We sang karaoke together for hours, and then I was asked to leave the karaoke club and never return. So yeah, the turnip looked just like Simon Cowell.
I can see that.
And yeah, to cut a long story short, I was asked to leave the Sega offices and never return. But I managed to steal a copy of Jet Set Radio on my way out.
Oh, that's all right. All's well that ends
I
well.
kept it, yeah. Kids, never steal games. Alright, in this last bit of the show, we're going to talk briefly about the characters and the graffiti in the game. Justin, who is your favourite character in... I'm going to open it up to the Jet Set Radio series.
Okay.
Because most of my favourites are in feature. I know this isn't technically anything to do with that, but, I'm hosting, so that's the way it's going to be.
Okay. I would say it's got to be Gum for me, although I'm quite fond of Cube, because you get to unlock the two guys dressed in black later on, Coin and Cube. And Cube's pretty cool. But it's got to be Gum, isn't it?
Probably.
Dave, you're looking puzzled. Just say Beat, it's alright.
Spider-Man. Oh no, that was Tony Hawk, wasn't it? Spider-Man wasn't in this crap.
I think for me, Dave's drawn a blank because I don't think he's as enthusiastic as me and Justin about this one. I think for me, it's either Boogie from Future.
From Future, right?
She's pretty awesome. Or I quite like. I think it's Rith, who is Mew.
Mew, right?
From this game.
Yes, because they renamed Mew.
Here's a Oh God, have I still got this fact in my arsenal?
Do it.
It's a late fact
Oh
submission.
right, yeah. Here's a fact for you that you didn't get, which I'm now going to shame you with, is that in Jet Set Radio the character with the beanie hat is called Tab,
Yep.
and in Jet Set Radio Future they were renamed Corn. With a C, not a K. That's a different thing.
Yeah, definitely a different thing.
And the R was written the right way around.
Yeah. So yeah, that is a fact.
Yeah.
That is a
Fact
fact.
that I've submitted late, but
But you're not restricted by the rules
I'm
of
not
official
restricted by the
factdom,
rules.
so
In
that's
fact,
fine.
Al's just sitting there.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything.
Going, it's cheap, but I've got to let it slide.
exactly, yeah. So a little bit about the graffiti. In this game, obviously, you use the stick to draw the graffiti, which is, again, another very clever way of doing it. And I didn't know this until we played again this morning, but you can actually make your own graffiti, can't you?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Excuse me. The magazines to start with suggested you could even go online, download a JPEG onto your VMU, and then put that in the game. I don't think I ever tried that, but you can definitely download and upload graffiti, or you could at the time, because now it's all been switched off, because we're talking about a game that came out 14 years ago.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It still looks fresh. It
does.
looks incredible.
It looks
It's
incredible on the Vita as well. The Vita version
Yeah.
looks amazing on the OLED screen.
And the HD version looks lovely as well. It's like, I think if you get the right art style, though, you know, it's been that long that it now just looks like a stylised decision rather than being old.
So, it is that point in the show where we turn the lights low and listen to Dave's haiku review. Silence. Dave, take it away.
Fuck the police, I'm a Dayglow terrorist. Art is not a crime.
Dave,
Yes.
that was a haiku.
That was really good. It's one of my favourites. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
like
up
that.
there with the Outrun one.
And
I was pleased
we
with it.
dropped the F-bomb in a family
Yeah,
show.
Yeah.
All good.
We may beep or not, who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see how Justin feels.
No, let's not be.
No, we're not going to beat
No.
you.
It suits the game if we don't.
Can't
It's
hide
not
the
punk
truth.
otherwise, is it?
Well, exactly.
Exactly, yeah. The GGs would not want us to censor the truth.
No.
Man.
Yeah. You know that
So,
stands for graffiti gangsters.
Yeah.
Another fact.
Submission.
So, that is it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed watching Jet Set Radio and hearing us ramble about it, hearing me sort of overly enthused about it, which I do apologise for because I am English. If you like what you've seen, hit the little like button. If you want to subscribe, do that as well. We love people who subscribe. And if you want us to discuss any more of your favourite games, just let us know in the comments. I know Jet Set Radio was one a lot of people have asked for, so hope you all are pleased now. And until next week, we'll see you later.
That's right.
Enjoy that? Excellent stuff. Well, we've got plenty more Sega Saturdays videos for you. That was our 5th one, so check out the playlist there on the top left. If retro Sega stuff is not your thing, then how about some Trials Fusion squirrel guides? We've got all the squirrels for you right there, so you don't have to hunt them out. We've done that for you. And also, if you want to check out our Tumote advert for Next Gen shampoo for Lara Croft, then I highly recommend that. And not just because I made it, honest. Alright, cheers, thanks a lot.